Hello students, in this video I am going to explain some of the multiple choice questions from the chapter matrices and determinants here. The first question will be, if A is a m by n matrix such that AB and BA both are defined, then B is an. You have to find the order of this matrix B here. So there are four options, maybe m by n matrix, n by n matrix, n by n matrix, and fourth option will be m by m matrix here. So given that both AB and BA are defined and order of the matrix A is equal to m by n here. So we know that the product AB exists only when number of columns of the matrix A should be equal to number of rows of the matrix B. And here you know that A is a order of m by n. Therefore, number of columns of the matrix A will be n, and therefore the number of row of the matrix B will be n by another number. So I let it be P here. And one more, this product BA exists. Given that product BA exists, again order of the matrix A is of this is m by n. So here also number of columns of B is equal to number of rows of A, then only product exists. Therefore the number of column will be m here, and this may be Q. Okay, so here the order is n by P, order of B is n by P, and here the order of B is Q by m. So this is possible only when n is equal to Q and P is equal to m, because both the same matrix B. Here order shows n by P, n is fixed, P is unknown. Here for this order is Q by m, m is fixed, Q is unknown. So n is equal to Q and P is equal to m. Therefore this B is a matrix of order n by m here. So that is the option B here. The second problem is similar to the first one here. If A is a matrix of order m by n and B is a matrix such that AB dash and B dash A are both defined, the order of the matrix B is. So B dash is nothing but transpose of a matrix B. So product AB dash and B dash A both are defined. So this will be the options here. We know that AB dash, so that is exists, that implies A B dash exists implies we have the order of the matrix A, that is m by n. So number of columns of the matrix A will be n. Therefore the number of rows of this matrix B dash will be n here. So n by, I'll take the number of column as P in general. Next again B dash A exists, and we know that the order of A is m by n and the number of column of B dash should be equal to number of rows of A. Therefore number of column will be m by, I'll take the number of rows as Q here. That means B dash, here the order is n by P, here the order is Q by m, if and only if value of Q is n and value of P is equal to m. Therefore B dash is a matrix of order n by m here. But we want the order of the matrix B. So the order of the matrix B, so this is nothing but transpose of this B dash. interchange the rows and column, you will get the transpose. Therefore, the number of order of this matrix B will be m by n. So that is the option C. The next problem is, if A is a matrix, a 2 by 2 matrix, elements are alpha 0, 1, 1, and B is one more 2 by 2 matrix, elements are 1, 0, 5, 1. Then find the value of lambda for which A square is equal to B. So the given condition is A square equal to B. So these are the possible here, 1, -1, 4, and there is no real values here. So we have given that A square is equal to B. So that means A square, first we have to find out A square. A square is A into A. A into A, you know how to multiply the matrix. So this will be the elements, alpha square 0, alpha plus 1, 1 here. So that is equal to the matrix B. So matrix B is 1, 0, 5, 1 here. So two matrices are equal if and only if corresponding values are equal. So you know that two matrices are equal if the corresponding entries are equal. Therefore, alpha square should be equal to 1. So which implies alpha is equal to plus or minus 1. There is one more here. Alpha plus 1 is equal to 5. That means alpha is equal to 4. So for this alpha, only one value here. So that should be a unique, cannot be 2 here. But here we got alpha is equal to plus or minus 1 and alpha is equal to 4. So our conclusion is there is no real values. That is, there is no particular unique values because alpha is unique here. But we got 1, -1 and 4. So first 3 will not be the option. Therefore, we choose that D will be the option. Okay, so that is the option here. This one. The next one is, you have to find the order of this matrix. So this is actually a single matrix. So these are the options here. So we have A. So this is a matrix of order 1, 2, 3, 3 rows, 2 columns. So the first one will be the matrix of order 3 rows, 2 columns. Then next one. So these two, the subtraction is possible only when the order of the matrix are same. So there are 2 rows and 3 columns. So this is 2 by 3 and the next one is also 2 by 3. Therefore, the order of the matrix within this flower bracket is, I can consider 2 by 3. So here the number of columns of the matrix is 2. Number of rows of the matrix is 2. So these two are equal. Therefore, the resultant, the order of the resultant matrix is of order 3 by 3. So that is the option D here. The next one, if A is a singular matrix, then adjoint A is. So these are the 4 options, maybe non-singular, singular, symmetric or not defined here. First you must know what you mean by singular matrix. Singular matrix is if the determinant of a matrix is 0, that is known as a singular matrix. And we have one result. This is a useful result. We can, by using this formula, we can solve many problems. That is, determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant A to the power n minus 1 here. So here given that determinant A, that is A is a singular matrix, implies determinant A is equal to 0. If determinant A is equal to 0 and here the formula is a determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant A to the power n minus 1. So anyway this is 0, that means determinant of adjoint A is also 0. So determinant of any matrix equal to 0 implies that matrix is a singular matrix. Hence, adjoint A is a singular matrix here. The next one will be, if A is a 3 by 3 matrix, then what is determinant of adjoint A? So these are the options. So this problem is similar to the previous one. Here we have to find what is the determinant of adjoint A here. We have the result. Determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant of A to the power n minus 1. Same result. This is very useful here. So determinant of adjoint A. So first I have to find out what is the determinant of A. This is a matrix. This is a scalar matrix. Scalar matrix means it's a diagonal matrix. All the diagonal elements are same. So this is a scalar matrix. So for this scalar matrix, determinant is multiply the diagonal elements. So for a scalar matrix, we can easily find the determinant, that is multiply the diagonal element. So if you multiply the diagonal elements, A into A, that is A cube. Therefore, determinant of A is equal to A cube. So here, according to this formula, determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant of A to the power n minus 1. This n is nothing but order of the matrix. Here the order of the matrix is 3. Therefore, A to the power 3 to the power 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is nothing but 2. So A to the power 3 whole power 2. We know the property, indices property, using that. This is A to the power 6. Multiply these two. Therefore, the determinant of this adjoint A is equal to A to the power 6. Next one is, if A and B are symmetric matrices of same order, then which of the following is not true? So we have to check which option is not true here. So these are the 4 options. That is, A plus B is symmetric, A minus B is symmetric, AB plus BA is symmetric, and AB minus BA is symmetric here. Let's check one by one. First, you must know what you mean by symmetric. A and B are symmetric matrices means if you take the transpose of the matrix, you will get the same matrix. That is, A dash is equal to A and B dash equal to B implies A and B are the symmetric matrices. So we consider the first option. A plus B is symmetric. That means A plus B whole dash. That is the algebra of property of this transpose. Using that, A plus B whole dash is A dash plus B dash. But we know that A dash is equal to A and B dash is equal to B. Therefore, we write that is equal to A plus B here. So this is correct. So this is the correct statement. Next, move to the next one. A minus B whole dash. Similarly, using the property, this is A dash minus B dash. That is nothing but A minus B. So this is also correct. Next, option C. AB plus BA whole dash. AB plus BA whole dash. So using the property AB whole dash plus BA whole dash. But there is one more property, that is A into B whole dash is nothing but B dash into A dash. So using that, we write AB whole dash as B dash into A dash, and here also BA whole dash as A dash into B dash. But again, A dash is equal to A, B dash is equal to B. This is nothing but BA plus AB, or interchange AB plus BE. That is the same matrix. Therefore, AB plus BA is symmetric. That is the also a correct statement. So the only possibility is option D. If you want, you can check here. Using the property, this is AB whole dash minus BA whole dash. This is B dash into A dash minus A dash into B dash. So this is BA minus AB. This cannot be equal to AB minus BA here. But this is equal to minus of AB minus BA. So in that case, AB minus BA is not a symmetric here. So that may be a skew symmetric. So this will be the wrong statement for the given. The next question will be, if A is a 3 by 3 non-singular matrix, if determinant A is equal to 3, then determinant of 2A whole inverse is equal to. So these are the four options here. So non-singular matrix implies determinant of that matrix is not equal to 0. So by seeing this, we can clearly say that A is a non-singular matrix. And we have one more result. Determinant of A inverse is equal to 1 by determinant A, because we know that A into A inverse is equal to the identity matrix here. If you take determinant on both sides, determinant of A into A inverse is equal to determinant of I. So determinant of A into A inverse is determinant of A into determinant of A inverse, and you know that determinant of I is equal to 1. If you find the determinant of any identity matrix, that is always 1. Therefore, determinant of A inverse is nothing but 1 by determinant of A. So this will be the result here. So using that result, first we simplify this one as determinant of 2A whole inverse is equal to 1 divided by determinant A. And also we have the result determinant of K into A is equal to A to the power n into determinant A, where n is the order of the matrix. In this example, A is a 3 by 3 matrix. Therefore, n value is equal to 3. And if you compare this, value of K is 2 and this is the matrix A. Therefore, this will be 2 to the power 3 into determinant A using this result. So 1 by 8 into 3. So that's equal to 1 divided by 24. Therefore, the answer for this is option A, 1 divided by 24. Next is we have to evaluate this 2 by 2 determinant here. You know, we can evaluate the 2 by 2 determinant by multiplying the diagonal elements minus non-diagonal elements. So these are the four options here. Let's see. So I'll consider the left hand side, that is determinant of cos 15 degree, sin 15 degree, sin 75 degree, cos 75 degree. So multiply the diagonal elements. So cos 15 degree into cos 75 degree minus multiply the non-diagonal elements sin 75 degree into sin 15 degree. This is nothing but the trigonometric formula cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So that is nothing but cos of A plus B, that is cos of 15 plus 75. Cos 15 plus 75 is 90, cos 90 value is equal to 0. That is the option D here. Next one will be, we have to find the inverse of this 2 by 2 matrix. These are the four options. We have to check which one is the inverse for the given matrix here. So we have one formula, A inverse is equal to adjoint A by determinant A here. So A inverse is equal to adjoint A by determinant A. So we can easily find the adjoint of a 2 by 2 matrix. That is, for a 2 by 2 matrix, to obtain the adjoint A of the matrix, interchange the diagonal elements, interchanging the diagonal elements and changing the sign of the non-diagonal elements. So interchange the diagonal elements and changing the sign of the non-diagonal elements gives the adjoint of the matrix. So interchanging this means here -5 comes, then here 1 comes, and changing the sign means -3 and here 6. The matrix which having these elements is the option C. So in all the case determinant is 13 given. So only need to check is what is the adjoint of the matrix. So -5, 6, -3, 1. Therefore the inverse of the matrix is option C here. The next one will be if the points A of 3, -2, B of k, 2, C of 8, 8 are collinear, then the value of k is. So these are the 4 options here. We know that 3 points are collinear implies, that means 3 points lie on a same line. So this is the point A and this is the point B and this is the point C. That means 3 points are lie on a same line. That indicates that 3 points are collinear. That means there is no triangle, hence there is no area. Using determinants we find the area of a triangle. The formula is delta is equal to 1/2 into determinant of x1, y1, 1, x2, y2, 1, x3, y3, 1 here. So this is the formula. Since there is no area, the value should be equal to 0. Here we take this as the x1, y1, this point as x2, y2 and this as the x3, y3. We substitute here. So this determinant is equal to 0 here. You know how to evaluate a 3/3 determinant. So that is 3 into, if you delete the first row and first column. So if you delete the first row and first column, you will get a determinant. So 2/2 determinant, that is this one, 2, 1, 8, 1. Evaluate 2/2 determinant, you will get 2 minus 8 plus minus of this entry. This is -2. Minus of -2 is +2. Delete the first row and second column, you will get the determinant k, 1, 8, 1. So evaluation of that is k minus 8 plus the last entry. Delete the first row and third column, you will get a determinant. Evaluation of that is 8k minus 16. So or this, after simplification you will get this, or 10k is equal to 50 or the value of k is equal to 5. So that is the option C here. So the next one will be if a cube is equal to 0, then a square plus a plus I is equal to, we have to find the value of this. So these are the options. Given that a cube is equal to 0, that means if you multiply a 3 times, matrix A 3 times, you will get a 0 matrix. So I'll write I is equal to I cube minus a cube. Same here, because a cube is 0, I cube is equal to, you know that value of I is 1, that is If you multiply a identity matrix n times, you will get a identity matrix itself. Now using the formula a cube minus b cube, I'll expand this one. That is a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. So using that, this is I minus a into I square plus ia plus a square. And you know that any matrix multiplied by a identity matrix is a matrix itself. So this will be I minus a into I plus a square. So here I plus a square or a square plus a plus I is nothing but required term. We have to find the value of this. So by keeping this in one side, taking all other in the other side, we'll get I divided by I minus a is equal to this one. We can also take this to the numerator, then this become I minus a to the power minus 1. So that is there in our option, that is the option B. Therefore, simplified form of a square plus a plus I is nothing but I minus a to the power minus 1. The next question, 14th question will be the number of all possible matrices of order 3 by 3 with each entry is 2 or 0. So these are the numbers here. The number of all possible matrices of order 3 by 3 with each entry 2 or 0 means, so you have to collect a 3 by 3 matrix such that the entries of the 3 by 3 matrix is either 0 or 2 here. So if I take one example considering a 0 matrix, so all the entries are 0. So this is one form here. Now instead of 0, if I take 2 here, this is one more matrix. Okay. Here again, instead of 0, if I take 2, you will get one more matrix. So we have to collect all such matrices here, 3 by 3 matrices. So there are 9 spaces. Okay, in here, in each matrix, there are 9 spaces. Each can be filled by either 0 or 2, that is 2 entries here. Therefore, the possible order that can be obtained, or the possible number of matrices that can be obtained from a 3 by 3 matrix in which the entries are 2 or 0 is 2 to the power 9. So in these 9 entries, we have to substitute, we have to write either 2 or 0. So using these two numbers, we can do such matrices here, such number of matrices. So 2 to the power 9 is nothing but 512. Therefore, the number of possible matrices is 512. Last question of this session will be the number of possible orders that can have from the matrix having 5 elements here. We know that a matrix is of order m by n. Suppose A is a matrix of order m by n, then that matrix A has m into n elements. Here the matrix having 5 elements. Therefore the possibilities are, so either 1 by 5, 1 row 5 column, or 5 row 1 column, 5 by 1. Only these two are the possibilities since 5 is a prime number. Therefore the number of possible orders that can have from the matrix having 5 element is 2. So this will be the answer.